The Paleo DNA Laboratory here in Thunder Bay is a leader in human mitochondrial DNA analysis, and it was one of the first Canadian labs to develop mitochondrial DNA analysis techniques.
The Paleo DNA Laboratory was established in 1996, and it was meant as a way to analyze ancient and degraded or paleo DNA samples from a site in Egypt.
Stephen Ferpetro is the technical manager here at the Paleo DNA Laboratory.
There's three types of DNA technologies we look at. One of them is your nuclear DNA, which is it's unique to an individual person. Everybody has their own unique nuclear DNA profile. And that's the DNA that they use mostly on the crime shows to match a suspect to the evidence. The second type of DNA, which we do a lot of, is mitochondrial DNA, and that's passed down through the maternal lines, so from mother to children, and only the female children continue to pass it on down each generation. And it doesn't change over time, so we can establish relationships, maternal relationships over many generations, and we could also, that's the type of DNA we look at for ancient DNA testing. And the third type of DNA technology we use is Y chromosome DNA, which is passed down through the male lines only, through the Y chromosome, and that's passed down through father to son over many generations, as long as it's passed down through the male line.
When analyzing the samples, it is extremely important for Stephen and his team to ensure contamination control.
The DNA process is a multi-step process, and the first part is getting a sample, determining what kind of sample you're dealing with, and taking the precautions necessary not to contaminate the sample. And what we want to do is take the sample, break it down into all of its parts, the cells, and the DNA. We usually put it into a solution, and then we separate the DNA out of the solution from the other part of the cells, which we call purification. We then take the purified DNA and make many copies, or we amplify it, and then we're able to read that DNA. And that's kind of the whole process. And in the room that we're sitting in now is where we would analyze the DNA once it's been copied. We work with anything that has a biological signature: buccal, blood, bone, teeth, tissue, semen, blood stains, any other kind of biological stains, you name it, we've touched it. It gives students attending Lakehead a chance to work with DNA, because there's not a lot of other universities that have the facilities that we have here.
The Paleo Laboratory here in Thunder Bay is a world leader. They have extensive experience in dealing with the challenges of analyzing ancient or highly degraded DNA.
In my experience here, we do a lot of ancient DNA analysis as well, and it's working on those projects, the ancient DNA projects, where you answer a lot of really interesting questions, like who's related to who, or who is this individual. They were found in this area of the world, but yet they might have an ancestry that's not typical of finding somebody in that part of the world. So, you know, and it kind of makes me think a little bit more about what we're doing.
Reporting for Shaw TV, I'm Sarah MacArthur.